Hi, my name is Levi Messer, and I wanted to give a little bit of context of how you got to the place of watching this video. And it really begins a few years ago. I hired a guy named Jared Prindle out of the ministry to come on as my estimator. And one of the pieces of that is that I told him we would do mission work. And after about a year and we hadn't done anything, he set up a meeting with Paul Jeffries, that's a part of the Cachi Foundation, and told me about the lunch and didn't give me much detail. So when I walked into the restaurant and sat down and asked what the meeting was about, and Paul asked the same thing, Jared informed Paul that I had guaranteed we would do mission work and so far hadn't done anything. So 6 weeks later, I was on a plane by myself to Argentina, getting picked up by somebody I've known my whole life, Sam Masters, and then traveled from there up 12,000 feet to a community called Cachi. And from that point, we met a missionary that's up there, Matthias, and he began to lay out this vision that he wanted to do, that this current facility with a church and a parsonage needed more space for short-term missionary, for training, and in showing us all of this awesome stuff. It just struck me because he wanted to do this and go to the next city and do it again, and the next city and do it again. And his comment was, that'll take about 20 years, and after that, I'll be ready to go to North Africa and do mission work. So when I got back, and Paul and I sat down for a debrief over a cup of coffee, and I was excited, telling him all about Matthias's vision and how we could walk alongside with that. Paul began to tell me about a missionary before, years ago, named Marcelo, that had a 20-year vision as well.
En el año 2009, el Señor nos lleva a un lugar que se llama Cachi para que fundáramos una iglesia. Cachi es un pueblo que se encuentra en la provincia de Salta, aquí en la República Argentina, y está muy pegadito a lo que es la precordillera de los Andes. Por ese entonces, un equipo misionero nos ayudó a poder comprar el terreno donde luego se habría de edificar la casa pastoral y también la iglesia. Pero esto no fue todo, sino que ellos sintieron en su corazón de viajar desde los Estados Unidos hasta la Argentina para ayudarnos con la mano de obra. Y allí, codo a codo con nosotros, nos ayudaron a levantar las primeras paredes de la iglesia. Ese fue realmente un tiempo hermoso y tenemos recuerdos muy gratos de ello. Pero no solo eso, sino que después en el tiempo siguieron viajando otros equipos misioneros que nos ayudaron con la evangelización del lugar con distintos proyectos. El resultado fue que el Señor bendijo grandemente esos esfuerzos y el día de hoy la iglesia está plantada y está creciendo.
So you've seen what God's already done, and what we now have is a parsonage where Matthias's family lives and the church building built. But we need to add 2 floors onto the current living structure for short-term mission work, for seminary training, for missionaries that would be sent in other parts of the world. And so in order to do that, we need to raise $150,000. And part of our commitment as a company is that we're going to go down there and physically do a big portion of the work, but there are materials and local labor that we're going to need in order to accomplish that. So here's the second part of the ask. I would ask that you would prayerfully consider this not as a one-time donation, but that you would walk hand in hand like those missionaries before and the ones currently there. What if we begin to look at this with a 20-year vision? What if it wasn't just this one project, but many more to come? That 20 years from now, what could God accomplish if we were to partner with the Cachi Foundation?